Hello everyone, back with Lost Belt number, Fate Grand Order, Lost Belt number 4, Yugakhestra. But first, summoning. I got one ticket? One ticket? One ticket? One? Two? I think it's one. I think it's one. Let's see. You know, this comes first, obviously. Oh yeah, one. Who's on? Kiara? I already have her, but I guess I'd rather go. Wait, hold on. How far? It's only 8. I was thinking if we were close to the double summon, but no, we got that last time. Remember? Anyway, Tamamo's better than Kiara in this case, since you know I have one, but I don't have the other. Dang it! I Saber. Okay, report now. So yeah, last time we escaped into the void scene. We picked up a fox girl with us. Let's get started. Section 15. We're almost done. It's 20 total, I believe. The Zero Cereals entered a stable zone. We should finally be safe here, at least for a while. Once again, we escaped by the skin of our teeth. It's hoping to never have to cut it that close again. At least we made it, right? And one of us really could have like said, hey, you know, he's gonna do the thing in like a couple hours, we should be prepared. You are as tasteless as a tiger shark. You always bring your enemies with you like this? Oh, it isn't the strange servant I saw in the wandering sea. I didn't know you were here too. I'm trying to think because I know there's an event, but I think it happens after Lost Belt 4, so this has already happened, but I don't remember this. As you can see, I'm currently nothing more than a fellow fugitive. As they say, no road is long with good company. Love makes the world go round, but a perfect example of strange bedfellows. We're shipmates, if you will. Of course, this is strictly a temporary business arrangement, but I do hope we can get along for its duration. Likewise. Oh, and not so much as a finger on the instruments, please. If you so much as breathe on them, Mr. Detective there is going to open up a can of Baritsu on your butt, pardon my French. Now, I'll thank you not to refer to we detectives as you would a knife. Never mind that my deductions are so sharp one can cut oneself on them. Even I would need a hot shower if I were to get the blood of so toxic a vixen on me. Oh my, the office banter is so pointed here. You're not picking a fight with me, are you? Ha 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 ha. Is it awkward in here or is it just me? What I want to know is, why is no one pointing out how Koyanskai's outfit just magically fixed itself? Oh, true. She even looks good in the traditional Indian outfit, complete with sari. I don't know what a sari is. Is that the head thing? Is she an angel? Or a demon after all? Alright, enough small talk. We have a great deal of questions and precious little time. Let's begin with your present circumstances. Why did you seek refuge aboard the border? Aren't you with the Lost Belts? Or rather, the Foreign God? Well, you know how bands sometimes split up because of creative differences? Oh, it's the Beatles. She's, the guy who left the Beatles. You know the guy. It's a lot like that. Think Pepperoncino there can attest to it? I never liked this one much to begin with. Which ones have you liked? Come on. I was planning to wash my hands of him once he served his purpose, but he ended up beating me to the punch. He filled Arjuna's ears with all sorts of nonsense about me, and I'm officially persona non grata in this India. Is that, how do you say that? I think I said it right. Maybe, I don't know. That said, I never had much of an opinion about this Lost Belt to begin with, so I'm not too broken up that I've been exiled from it now. But for the time being, I think I'll stick around a while longer. Let's just say I have my reasons. Uh-huh. I thought as much. Thought as much about what, Pepperoncino the traitor? Oh, a swing and a miss. I haven't betrayed anyone, but thanks for playing. My goal as a crypter is to grow my tree of emptiness, and I certainly haven't abandoned it. I'm not on bad terms with anyone from TMA. I have no intention of defying the Foreign God either. The only ones I don't trust are you alter egos. I mean, how could I? You're all the definition of shady. It's because I have my doubts about you three that I share the information I have with Horsey. I thought I could gain some insight from a different perspective on this situation, though I'm sure Holmesy already deduced as much. Indeed. I was fully aware that you were probing our goals and perspectives. But of course I allowed it, as I could tell you were doing so from a place of fairness rather than malice. Given the current state of the world, it doesn't take much thought to realize this fatal contradiction. The fact that Miss Koganskaya is here right now only further serves to reinforce it. Sorry, bless me. That voice missed out. While I do feel as though I already have a firm grasp on the answer, I also feel as though it would be improper for me to be like, yeah. So as one of those directly involved, I'd like to ask you about this great mystery we can no longer ignore, Scandinavia Paparazino. Oh, that's sweet! How can you be so kind and handsome and yet also so unpopular? It's because you're inhuman at heart? Alright then, don't mind if I do. Koyanskaya, you can confirm this for me, right? The goals of the cryptors and the foreign god's disciples don't completely line up, do they? Question mark? What do you mean? Let me be clear, this world is headed towards oblivion. The way it's being run right now, it can't possibly end up anything halfway decent. Once it's completely purged of evil, we're not going to have the perfect world he's aiming for. We'll be left with a world of total nothingness. It's fair to say that Arjuna has gone completely off the rails. But the bigger problem is that you disciples aren't doing anything to stop him. If anything, that treacherous snake of a man is pushing him to furry things along. Why? The way things are going now, both this lost belt and his tree of emptiness will be lost forever. So why aren't you two trying to stop that? Furthermore, given the state we found you in, it seems there's also every possibility that even you disciples don't share a common goal. Tell us, what exactly are you? This is a good question. Good question. Suppose if I'll pay my fare, I'll answer you as far as I'm able to. I do indeed have my own adorable goals I'm working towards. Adorable goals that neither the cryptors nor that very nice monk share. I sincerely doubt there's anything adorable about them. What are they? Well, there's tormenting humans, so collecting regional monsters, I suppose. It's a hobby of mine. Investigating new and unusual creatures is Pokemon. This lost belt is both Kali and Sacred Beasts, so I'm already pretty happy about that. What can you tell us about the other alter ego? I'm afraid that's one I can't answer. Violate the non-disclosure agreement in the contract I signed with the foreign god. The most I could say is that he and I most certainly do not get along, as you can tell from my presence here. The three alter egos may have different approaches due to different personalities, but share one common goal. All three alter egos want to grow the tree of emptiness to completion. I see. Is that true for Father Kotomine? I mean, Rasputin too? Right, he's an alter ego. Of course. You know what happened in the Russian Lost Belt? Well, with its king and Kadak being who they are. So, I have a bit of knowledge from JP spoilers. I thought there were 3 alter egos, but I can think of a 4th one who I think is introduced in the next Lost Belt. So is one of them a fake? Or am I misunderstanding what, are there actually just 4? Well, despite what you might think, that priest is a genuine saint, complete with the ability to know the future. Guess you'd say you can make prophecies? Apparently he prophesied that the Russian Lost Belt was only ever going to end poorly, and acted accordingly. Alright, that's enough for me. I believe I've more than paid my fare by now. So he has some sort of a clairvoyance. I guess from the Rasputin skill. I mean, I guess the Russian Lost Belt is just weaker than the other Lost Belts, but just the way she said that and how it kind of cut off there makes me think there's more to that. I don't know. Oh no, you haven't. Not by a long shot. Costs a lot more than that to ride on my ship. Leaving the question of whether it's your ship or not aside, I do agree that she's only begun to pay her fare. Oh, come on! Do you have any idea how much Rasputin's secrets would normally cost? That priest never says a word about himself, you know? It wasn't easy to part with him, but since doing so would be his problem more than mine, figured I could share them with you as a little bonus of sorts. So she's willing to sell out her teammates' skills, but not her own secrets, huh? I kind of forgot Rasputin existed. He hasn't showed up in a while. Talk about dyed-in-the-wool misanthrope. It's like everything she does is designed to make people mad now, pardon my French. I have a feeling we're not going to get anything from her that she isn't willing to give us. For now, I guess I should just be glad I was able to confirm my hypothesis. I wonder just how much Kristarian knows about the foreign god's identity and objectives. At any rate, no longer have any interest in what happens to this world. I am, as they say, over it. So by all means, go ahead and mess with it as much as you like. I'll be especially happy if you could give that nice monk some much needed comeuppance. Do you really think we're done here? You're just gonna jump out the window? We saved you when you were at death's door, and I doubt you're anywhere close to your old strength yet. To put it another way, you have nowhere to run. Your life is in our hands now. Oh my, does this mean your gentlemanly facade is crumbling? Now that I'm your prisoner, wonder what you're gonna do to me. Lost felt through your enactment. You're gonna bind my limbs and throw me in solitary? Chop me into tiny pieces, like what happened in China? Yeah. What? No, I'm just referring to your promise to temporarily cooperate with us. Though that's not to say we won't take precautions. I trust there won't be any issue letting her out of here along with Horsey. I highly doubt it, not with Rama, Ganesha, and Lakshmi all keeping an eye on her. Once we have our safety measures in place, I believe our most prudent course of action would be to act on this new information. And of course, when the situation calls for it, we would like you to assist us in battle. At the moment, I believe that covers the manner of assistance we expect from you. Well, can't promise to be of too much help in combat, but I can certainly fight well enough to protect my own life. If you're treating me as a guest rather than a prisoner, I'll agree the information I shared doesn't cover my fare. So rest assured, I'll be glad to work off the rest. Certainly don't want to be in debt to humans, after all. Well, if nothing else, at least we made it through another cataclysm unscathed. I think we've all earned a little break today, so why don't we kick back and relax while we wait for the outside world to stabilize. End of the arrow. If all goes well, maybe we'll even be able to settle everything during the next Yuga cycle. Oh, not quite? Oh. So you're the one I heard on the transmission. I go by Captain right now, though that name has no particular meaning. Not that I have any other more meaningful name to go by right now anyway. Good to meet you, Captain. You don't have to tell me. I know who you are. Do you mean we've met somewhere before? Of course not. What makes you think that? I don't know enough about the Captain's ability to comment on that. I have not... He's from a book, okay? I haven't read the book. Huh. I guess it would be your scent. My scent, huh? Well, I guess I can understand that more than I could if you said my appearance. Anyway, I'm afraid I have a lot of work I need to get back to. You should rest now, while you can. Wonder why he's avoiding me. I don't remember wronging him. Although, that look in his eyes. Was it nervousness? Fear? No, wait. I think it was... guilt? It's already been explained though that he had some relation to India, so I'm assuming the book takes time around, you know, that time frame. So we're back at it, cut it. We are back in the Lost Spot apparently. Phew! Nothing had ever been so happy to see the sky. Really is something about seeing it for the first time in a while that appeals even to a die-hard shut-in like me. Really? I thought you were the type who never left your room no matter what. How could I get food or go to the bathroom? First, I go out when I gotta. I always enjoy the early mornings when I'd have to run down to the convenience store to replenish my snack supplies after fighting a massive raid boss for 3 days straight. Oh, she cleared P3S too. The way you could see the stars as the first rays of the sun started to creep over the horizon was just divine. Oh, maybe it's those spiritual morning walks that make Ganesha choose me for his vessel. 3-day raid boss fight. What were the devs thinking? Shout out to Absolute Virtue and Pandemonium Warden. Oh. My apologies for this seemingly endless string of similar instructions, but I would like you all to start by returning to beat you, as usual. Let's get going then. And Ajay is gonna be gone. Oh, what a perfectly peaceful little human town. Makes me positively nauseous. So what's the plan here? You do have a plan to take down that spoiled brat turned god, don't you? We're going to tear him off his divine throne and bring him down to our level, starting with this town. Now that these people have fought their way through Kali Yuga, there should be even more of them on our side, unless they're all gone. Once we've convinced this town he isn't a god worth worshipping, we'll move on to the other towns until he's weakened enough that we can defeat him. A god boycott campaign, Okay, I can see sense in that. At least, theoretically. Even though we're in the peaceful Kurta Yuga now, something feels off. I feel it too. Does this town seem weirdly quiet to you too? Definitely. Fo. Hey guys, kinda worried about Asha. Remember she said her dad was injured? Maybe we should go check on her first. Of course. I was just thinking the same thing. I think her house was over in that direction. Let's go see her. I was no one who made the connection. There's her house. Thank goodness it's intact. Why don't we take a peek inside through the window first, just to see how they're doing. Looks like they're celebrating something. I need to sneeze. But I can't sneeze. So glad you made it to the Kurta Yuga to celebrate your 4,000th day of life, Asha. Me too. Lots happened over the different Yugas. More than I can even remember. I was worried how things were going to go when we first took you in. We've grown up to be a wonderful little girl. Well, you know, it's strange. You know we've been here since way back. This house still doesn't feel like our home. Maybe it's just too big for us. I was just thinking the same thing. Maybe it's time we thought about moving. I think there's another house we could live in not too far from here. But we don't need to think about that now. Today's your special day and we're gonna celebrate. Go ahead and eat anything you want, okay? Okay. Oh, what's wrong, Asha? You don't look very excited. Auntie? Doesn't it feel like we're missing someone important? No. Huh? What do you mean? Now look at what you made me do. I'm sorry. Are you okay? Haha, you dropped a dish over a little question. You're such an ulo. Ulu. There it is again. Feels like someone else should have said that. Feels strange that nobody's saying it. Yeah, really feels like there gotta be someone else here with us. What an odd little girl you are. Who would that possibly be? You know it's always just been the three of us. Yeah, I know. But I can't help but feel like I made a promise with someone. Someone who said they'd celebrate with me, patting my head, telling me how much I'd grown. Don't come on, nope. Am I crying? That's a funny surprise. This is supposed to be a happy day. What, you okay, Mashu? I'm okay. I'm okay. But, senpai, this is just... Let's get out of here. Right now, I don't think I can even look Asha in the eye and smile. She said his leg was injured. Is that why? A little thing like that? That's just like what happened to Vihan. This is horrible. Don't even have the words for how horrendously wrong this all is. Oh no! Does this mean everyone who's injured? Lakshmi, where are you going? Or is it everyone that fought back and didn't, like, pray? They're not here. Hey. Oh, hello. Is everything alright? Would you like to come to my house and have a glass of grape juice? Forget about juice. It happened to all the people in the town hall. What do you mean? You know dang well what I mean. I'm talking about the people who came here from Deval. There were dozens of people living here while they tried to find new homes. Very sorry, but I truly have no idea what you're talking about. Nobody has ever lived in the town hall. Dang it. Well, you poor thing. I don't know what you're talking about, but I can tell you've been through a lot. Well, if there's anything I can do to help, please don't hesitate to call on me. Good luck. Dang it. Dang it. Pardon my French. Just refusing to obey is a sin now, you false god. A crime so great you throw them away like they're worthless. Seems we're too lax in our assumptions. Given how removed Arjuna is from this world, I assumed he would never bother to personally determine the so-called defectiveness of individual person's actions. Especially since we knew Deval continued to exist across Yugas even after they began fighting back. That sounds right to me. We're just talking about Arjuna himself. Oh, but he has, you know, limbo. I'm sure you'd consider changes in the little people's... What's his full name? Is it Castor of Limbo? But he's an alter ego. I don't know. I'm sure he would consider changes in the little people's faith as trivial matters beneath his own notice. But he has a certain advisor at his ear, one who loves nothing more than snitching. I can't see that slimy, devious monk not taking the chance to rat these people out. Yes, I recall you mentioned him on the border as well. Sounds like as though you are here on extremely poor terms. Oh yes, he's a wonderful, nice monk, pardon my French. It's very who he is. Well, you'll find that out when you meet him yourselves. So it's his fault these people disappeared. I think only the protagonist actually knows him, right? He's like, no one could observe. Like, no, communications got through at the end of Shimosa, remember? So, I don't know. No, it might be mine. Lakshmi? It might be because I helped them, because I lit a fire under them, because I drew the false god's attention to them. Maybe I'm the reason they were eliminated. They might have been erased as though they never existed because they got caught in my cloud of bad luck. Lakshmi. No, that is not my name. I've been lying to you this whole time. Everything that's gone wrong is my fault. I knew I should have stuck to fighting on my own. What are you talking about? You're not making any sense. I have no idea what she's talking about. The god that resides within me is not Lakshmi. What was that? But her name's Lakshmi. Me, the goddess of happiness and prosperity? What a joke. I'm the exact opposite. I bring adversity and tragedy wherever I go. Kali? I'm the embodiment of things everyone should avoid and despise. I don't know Hinduism enough. The real name of the goddess within me is Lakshmi. Lakshmi's older sister, the goddess of bad luck and misfortune. Okay. I didn't know that. Never heard of him. So yeah, that falls a little flat for me. Oh. Fact of unforgiving world strengthened by the erasure of those who rebelled against God. Oh, dang it. Another 0? Okay. All dialogue this chapter, huh? It's true. Those two sister gods are more alike than shrimp and prawns. Oh, Lakshmi. That's the goddess of misfortune. Lakshmi's the direct opposite. You're saying that's who you really are? She's still a source of power lacking in consciousness, as I told you before. But yes, that's who I really am. That's why, you know, when we first met her, she just, like, you know, fell off the wall, you know. That's why I was, like, never able to quite sense my beloved Sita's Lakshmi inside you. Part of it is because she's only a source of power now. Part of it is because they are sisters. No wonder I never got more than a vague impression of the divinity inside you. Why didn't you tell us this sooner? Lakshmi's request was simple. She conveyed to me that she wanted to help her sister trapped within the false god. Okay, so what's the problem? That's one of our goals too. But who would ever want to join forces with the embodiment of bad luck and misfortune? I mean, look, you're the best we got. Plus, you're a cute anime girl. I've been using you for my own ends all this time. I thought you would refuse to help me if I was honest about my identity. And that would make it harder to achieve my goal of defeating the false god and rescuing Lakshmi. Some leader I am. Just a foolish woman steeped in lies and deception. Now these people who were erased without a trace, and all of your hopes are dashed too. It's all my fault. No, you're wrong there. Oh. I understand that you're really ill, Lakshmi, but you're still wrong about the rest. Senpai and Pepe are right. You didn't erase Ajay, or the people of Deval. Arjuna did. You can't blame yourself for this. Indeed. You're going to insist that every last bit of bad luck we've had was actually your fault? Because even for a goddess of misfortune, that'd be a bridge too far, Lakshmi. We're fighting for the fate of this entire world. Your luck can't possibly affect that, no matter how bad it may be. It is our skill and responsibility alone that will determine the outcome of our fight, just as it always has before. So the only laments I'll allow from you are your clumsiness and the way you constantly stub your toe and squirm in agony. If you thought we hadn't noticed, you were gravely mistaken. Oh, yeah. So, if you're finally done playing guessing games where the answers are obvious, it's about time we started planning our next course of action, no? Agreed. Truth be told, I had already formulated a hypothesis as to whom Lakshmi's true divinity might be. Yeah, of course you did, Holmes. Lest we forget, the power she demonstrated during our first battle with William Tail was clearly nothing that a goddess of fortune would possess. Ah! I get it now. Because she took all the arrows because bad luck. You say it reminds me. I don't sense value anyway. So it seems Mr. Tell never did make it to this Yuga, did he? No, I can't say I'm surprised, given the resistance he put up to the end. I'm considering that a highly probable possibility as well. Given how bravely he fought last we saw him, not sure if I should regret that we were unable to have him join us. Or be glad that at least a bit more of Arjuna's power is now gone. Okay, in light of all that's happened, we need to figure out a new plan, starting with where our old one went wrong. It's obvious now that we are severely underestimating the extent of Arjuna's ability to erase things he considers defective whenever he remakes the world. Hard as it might be to believe, we know now he can get rid of entire communities if he wants to. Maybe he came up with some way to simplify it, like assuming anyone who takes up arms against the Kali is defective. Either way, now that we know he's capable of mass removals like this, we should probably assume that the more people stand out, the more likely they are to be erased. So, what you're saying is, our plan to turn more people against him and drag him from his godly throne isn't looking too good anymore. I mean, they're all gonna die anyway. So what, we're just gonna accept that this is how things are here? No, absolutely not, Master. You better believe it. I don't care if this world's god is the one behind it. No one should have to live in a world where they could be erased like this. Yeah, you say it, Gudo. I'm not giving up yet. Let's figure out our next plan. I couldn't agree more, Master. We may be back to square one again, but so what? As for you, Queen who has slightly worse luck than most people, I have no desire for you to wander about in sackcloth and ashes being so terribly morose. Who's going to benefit from you doing such a thing? It's an utterly pointless endeavor. Now that we know our old plan, also, is that like a saying? Because I've never heard that before. We know our old plan won't work. We need your help more than ever in coming up with the next one. Will you help us? Will you continue to fight beside us, just as you have until now? I second everything Rama said. Yeah. Yeah, you're far from the first. Truly are an odd one, aren't you? End of? No, not quite. Alright, now that we reaffirmed our intent to continue onward, I'd like to begin discussing specifics. We've still got the big cube. Does anyone have any information that would give us a good place to start? I'll get right to the point. I can think of one thing. Oh, what's that? Ashvataman. Something wrong with him. Yes, I think we all saw that for ourselves, Yami darling. Care to be a little more detailed? I'm afraid it's difficult to explain. All I could say is, when we ran into him during the last Yuga, it felt like there was something fundamentally different about him compared to the other Lokapala. This one of you has an eye for detail. Disposing of Ashvataman is something I totally endorse, especially as I have my own grievances with him. I'd like nothing more than for all of you to beat him within an inch of his life, heart. We still don't know how to deal with his regenerative powers. Fighting him was like fighting an immortal. Exactly, he's immortal. That's why he has no choice but to do what Arjuna says. What do you mean by that? Oopsie, now I've gotten said too much. Just go ahead and zip these lips back up. What do you think? Maybe since he's an avatar of a god that Arjuna has, so maybe because I remember he mentioned, there's an avatar inside him, like, which I assume is just straight from the Mahabharata. I forget who it is, but if that's the case and Arjuna has that god, isn't that like, he's in control? I do think it's worth a shot. You're lucky I can't even tell you where he is right now. Oh, I appreciate that proposal, but I don't trust it. Kogenkai can only be trusted to lead us into a trap. What? Yeah, I made that proposal with the very purest of intentions. Guess this means you still haven't forgiven me after all, Your Excellency. Why in the world would I forgive you when you haven't shown the slightest sign of repentance? Did that sorry do something to your brain, beautiful? Just kidding. Alright then, I'll go ahead and give you the data you'll need to track Ashwataman down. Just to be sure of the results, why not conduct the research yourselves? True, that would be safer. That'll mean you won't need to walk around ourselves to pick up his signal. That's just the trade-off we'll have to make up for security. Even if it takes a little longer, it's a lot better than walking into a trap completely defenseless. Alright, now that our next goal is decided, let's go find Ashwataman and take him out quickly. Don't worry, once we find him, just let me handle everything. I think I know what's going on with him now, so the next time we meet, I'll see if I'm right. Okay. Okay, end of chapter? Yeah. So, gotta deal with Ashwataman. Gotta do something with big old... How many? 2 chapters, okay. And an archer, so we probably just fight him. Gotta do something with his big old cube. Probably chapter 17. I think 17 is the long one, right? Then 18 is preparing for Arjuna. I think 19 is the super long one, so that's fighting Arjuna. Then 20 is the epilogue. I guess? Or maybe the cube, well, the tree's all the way over here. So I don't think the cube can really be involved in like the climax, right? Unless we, take a hike. We'll see. Because this has to be for something. What if we don't do anything with it? It's just kind of there. That'd be wacky. Or maybe, what if it, even after this lost boat's gone, what if it like stays here on the Earth and it's like a future plot point? But I don't know. It's got to be for something, right? We'll see. Anyways, see you guys next time. Bye.